Ladies and gentlemen, I can only apologize for making this somewhat disembodied, yet I hope suitably low-carbon appearance. But I did just want to wish you every success for the launch of the campaign for wool. Now, since I launched this initiative at the start of 2010, I have been astonished by the momentum it has gained around the world. This whole initiative originated when it began to become apparent that the price farmers were being paid for their wool had dropped to such low levels that many were having to throw away their wool or were leaving farming altogether, and the numbers of sheep were falling dramatically. The last straw, as far as I was concerned, was the news that a new breed of sheep had been developed which didn't require shearing, astonishingly called Easy Care. Well, I'm afraid I could bear it no longer. I therefore convened a meeting with representatives of wool-growing organizations from around the world, along with interior designers, carpet manufacturers, fashion designers, and, importantly, retailers. It was clear that everyone realized that wool was a remarkably versatile, renewable, natural product, but that consumers had completely forgotten its benefits. The result of the meeting is this campaign, which I'm delighted to say is backed by all the major trade organizations. So, in addition to New Zealand, it is supported by the British Wool Marketing Board, the International Wool Textile Organization, Woolmark International, and Viking Wools of Norway. There are also many other companies and organizations making up the largest coalition in recent history, which are helping to raise awareness amongst consumers about wool's unique properties, properties which are, when you actually look at them, frankly amazing. Whether it is the products made of New Zealand wool which you use to furnish your home, or the incredible way New Zealand wool is being used to create the most modern clothing products, it is clear nature has the edge on the man-made competition. For example, and most importantly, wool is naturally flame retardant to some 600 degrees and can even meet the most stringent safety rules without the need for additional chemical treatments, something perhaps to consider when you are carpeting your home. Wool has the most excellent natural handling properties. Its renowned drape is due to the fineness of the fibers, as well as its natural elasticity and resilience. Wool has a structure which allows it to absorb and release perspiration naturally, a feature that is important for both clothing and home interiors. It is able to acclimatize to individual environments, which means that a wool jumper will ensure you are never too hot or too cold. Perhaps most surprisingly, the evidence shows that if you use wool duvets or blankets, then you are more likely to get a good night's sleep. And on top of all this, we have found that the fire service are agreed that natural woolen furnishings, carpets and clothes, and so on, are far less hazardous materials in the home than artificial man-made ones. Of course, every country taking part in the campaign will also be quick to point out the benefits of their product, and New Zealand wool is no exception. Whether it is the unique whiteness which helps achieve delicate, pale fashion colors in carpets, or the silky, soft texture of specialty wools for use in interiors, or the incredible versatility of the fiber when used for clothing. New Zealand is leading the way in terms of schemes which serve to ensure that animal welfare, land stewardship, and environmental practices are both ethical and sustainable. There are, of course, many more reasons to use wool, and a large number of these are listed on the campaign's website at www.campaignforwool.org. Now, if I may, I would just like to make one final point. There is no question that the price of wool suffered when demand fell, and in this situation, it is quite normal for suppliers to try and maintain profits by increasing their competition with each other. But this can sometimes result in a race to the bottom, with the whole sector being damaged. In my experience, for what it's worth, it is far better when a sector comes together to promote its products and takes on the real competition, be that man-made fibres, rather than sniping at each other's margins. That spirit of unity and partnership is at the heart of my campaign for wool. And even though prices are now thankfully recovering, I pray that it will engender a real spirit of partnership, which will help secure wool's future for many years to come. In wool, we have the opportunity to support nature herself, to give back a little of what she gives us. So choosing a fibre which comes directly from the New Zealand countryside is ultimately going to keep us all healthier, happier and safer. And if we can reward some of the hardest working farmers in the world along the way, then that can only be a good thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you every possible success and good fortune with the campaign for wool in New Zealand.